What's up? What's up? I am Coach Whitney at Life Ethics Studio.
And I am Trainer Travis. Yes.
Yes. Most of you know, if you're watching and you're a member here or a local here, you know Trainer Travis. Together we own Life Ethics Studio, which is a semi-private fitness studio right here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we help high performers just live healthy, active, energetic lives by simplifying healthy living, okay? And this is our take on life. We are so excited to be having these holistic conversations with you guys, just to support you along your healthy journey. So without further ado, today we have a wonderful woman here who we will be chatting with, Dennie. Dennie is a doctor of naturopathic medicine, serving patients at Integrated Wellness Grand Rapids. She graduated summa cum laude with a Master of Science in Acupuncture, and she was the valedictorian of her class, and she is a certified nutrition specialist. Welcome, Dr. Dennie.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, guys, the first question that I would love to ask you, because I'm familiar with you, and I know a lot of our community is familiar with you, but just in case you guys aren't, would you share a little bit about who you are, where you're from?
So, like Whitney said, Dr. Carrie, I am from Kalamazoo, Michigan, born and raised, moved here to Grand Rapids about 4 years ago. And so I've been practicing as a naturopathic doctor and acupuncturist ever since. It's my passion. You will hear it come out.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
And it's just so rewarding to be able to help people do what we call reestablish the foundations for health, which is basically diet and lifestyle support, but also just to help them achieve their health goals and optimize their wellness. So.
See how that just rolled off easy. That's how you know when somebody is passionate about what they do. It just rolled off easy, like butter. Right? Well, I guess where did it all start? Where did your interest in naturopathic medicine begin?
So this is a little bit of a story.
Okay.
I've always wanted to be a doctor. Wanted to initially go into like dermatology.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to undergrad at Michigan State University. I was there, kind of going through my own health issues. Something wasn't right. I didn't enjoy just having to take medication. And again, something just wasn't right about that. And so I kind of veered off of the pre-med path. Interestingly enough, at the time, I learned about naturopathic medicine back then. And I was like, this is nonsense. Like, you know what I mean? What is this? This isn't for me. And so kind of just graduated, started working random jobs, but I wasn't fulfilled and I wasn't happy. And so long story short, I am a Christian, so you'll hear me talk about the Lord. Please don't take offense to that. But I prayed and I asked God, where does he want me to go? And he pointed me at naturopathic medicine. And so I looked back at it again and I read it and it resonated with me because there's more to it than just one approach, basically. And that's what I enjoy and really think makes a big difference in the clients that I see and the success that they have. So anyway, long story short, found out where the schools were. My school was outside of Chicago, and I wanted to be kind of close to my family in Kalamazoo. And so went to school, and here we are. Like you said, it knocked it out, was dual enrolled. Ugh, that was an experience.
I can imagine.
And no, it really was rough. Classes for my doctoral program from 8 in the morning till 5 p.m. and then 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. for my master's classes. And you gotta go to sleep and get back up and do it all over again, right?
Oh,
so
wow.
I literally lived in the library, but it was a smooth path, honestly. Not saying it wasn't challenging, but that's how I knew that this was where I was supposed to be because I felt comfortable in the whole process. So, to God be all the glory. That's all I can say.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I can imagine having half a day of classes. I was like, ooh, 8 to 11 is rough.
Right?
I need a nap in between, and now we come back but
all day. And also, our program is a trimester program, so it's year round. So there was no breaks, really.
Oh my goodness.
I think the longest break was maybe 2 to 3 or 4 weeks during that winter Christmas holiday season, but that was it. Usually it was 2 weeks in between each trimester and you go right back into it. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. It's dedication to the craft, to the work, to the cause. I love that. How long did that take you? How long was the process?
So I started in fall of 2011 and I graduated with the doctorate in August of 2016 and then the master's in December of 2016. So 5 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Straight.
5 years straight.
Yeah.
Straight through.
Wow.
So, you know.
That's amazing.
But that's, again, how I know that this is where I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because it was kind of easy. I don't want to say that. But it just felt smooth.
Right.
And there was difficult times and difficult things that I studied, but I did it. And then to be surprised to find out that I was valedictorian, kind of, because I just knew. I knew it was going to be somebody else. But it was me. So, anyway.
That's amazing, isn't it? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to get my mind back to where we are, because right now I'm imagining what it felt like for 5 years to be consistent. 5 years, guys.
Consistent, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Routine.
Yes. You had to have a regimen to get through everything and a plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
It still is mind-blowing to me that I did it. But like I said, to God be all glory. He saw me through, so.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Our main clientele is high performers. Those are the people who generally are attracted to what it is that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just speaks to them in that way of a plan. We have to have a plan in order for us to be able to see the outcome and the result that we're intended to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And having grace for ourselves along the way. Because
Yes.
it's not going to be, having a plan doesn't mean that you're perfect.
Right.
It means you're focused.
And then even having a plan doesn't mean that you're always motivated either.
Oh,
That's
my
true.
goodness.
So you have to pull on that consistency, the discipline,
The push
right?
through.
Yes.
Because that motivation, I bet you was many mornings you was like, I don't feel
I'm not
like
doing
doing this. But that discipline was like, get your butt up, let's go.
Let's go.
We
Yes.
got people's lives to impact.
Right.
Come on.
And investing a decent amount of money.
Money.
So,
Sure. Oh my word. You talked about it here just a little bit earlier when you were talking about you didn't want to take the medicine path.
yeah.
So you touched on it a little bit before when you were talking about not necessarily wanting to just take medicine for something. When you chose naturopathic medicine over maybe traditional or maybe Western medicine, forgive me if I'm saying it incorrectly, but what was that moment where you were like, I'm going down the naturopathic path versus maybe a different path?
So again, for me, it was a personal thing. I was taking this medicine. I had been taking it probably at that point for 6 years, but it was weird without going into too much detail. But I was taking this medicine, and it seemed like there should be other ways to address the issue besides the medicine. And so that was my first inkling of, all right, I gotta find something else, because then it kind of expanded. So then what if people can't afford the medicine? What if they don't have insurance?
Yeah.
What other options do I have to offer people if I go this I call it conventional route?
Okay.
And so, like I said, I prayed about it, and then I learned about it, and the thing that really stood out for me in regards to naturopathic medicine are our principles. And so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but one of them is first do no harm, and I truly believe that we embody that principle. We have something that's called a therapeutic order. If you remember, back in the day, we used to have the food pyramid that was actually a pyramid, right? And it was stacked. So that's the way that our therapeutic order looks. And at the very bottom, and I've already kind of referenced this, but at the very bottom is a section that's called reestablishing the foundations for health, or creating the conditions for health. And this is all about diet and lifestyle stuff, right? These are things like the things that you eat, or the foods that you eat, or how well you're hydrated, or how well you're sleeping, or how well you're managing your stress, or how well you're moving, or if you're moving at all, right? And these are foundational pillars of naturopathic medicine, but they're foundational pillars of health as well. And if you don't have a strong foundation, and you build up, right? And so on top of this kind of shaky foundation, and you experience some health issues, so maybe you decide to take some medicine, or you take supplements instead, or whatever, but you don't address the foundation, eventually the tower is going to crumble. And so when I kind of pieced that together, I was like, okay, again, this is right where I'm supposed to be. The other thing that I just want to mention in regards to naturopathic medicine is a big misconception that we don't embrace and utilize pharmaceutical drugs. And we actually do. There are times and places where you need pharmaceutical drugs, right?
Yeah.
I always say, if I get hit by a Mack truck, don't take me to my office, right? I need to go to the ER, because
Yes.
That's a major trauma to my body.
Right.
In comparison to maybe your blood pressure is elevated and it's 130/80. You don't necessarily have to start with the drugs. You know, there could be some lifestyle things that you might want to address first. Or maybe we can bring it down with supplementation. But then conversely, you come in with your blood pressure 200/150.
Yeah.
Don't come in.
Don't
Go
come
to
in.
your doctor, right? Because you need to get the blood pressure down fast to prevent ramifications as a result of that. So anyway, did I answer your question?
You absolutely answered my
thank you.
question. Yes.
I just get to talking.
That's fine. It's okay. That's the point of the conversation. It's okay. It's
Thank
okay. So, because it actually segues perfectly into the next question of just what is naturopathic medicine and what is it not?
Okay. So naturopathic medicine is literally the use of natural therapies with a focus on prevention, treatment, and optimization of health.
Okay.
Another piece that we focus big on is supporting the body's natural ability to heal itself. And so that's kind of woo-woo, right? And people are like, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about this practically, if I cut myself on a piece of paper, let's say, right? I might go to the first aid kit and get some Neosporin and put it on and put my Band-Aid on and go about my business. The Neosporin doesn't help your tissues knit back together. The Band-Aid doesn't help your tissues knit back together.
Right.
What does? Is vital force in our bodies, right? So if it can do that on surface tissue, right, it potentially can do that inside the body, and it does, right? You hear of people that have something that's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, where their liver starts to get fatty, for lack of a better word. Conventional doctors do recognize that that's a reversible condition. So what's reversing it? Again, it's not necessarily any medicines, because I don't think that they give specific medicines unless it's severe, right? So what is it? It's the vital force, or the vis, as we call it. So anyway, that's a big piece of naturopathic medicine. But then, like I alluded to in regards to the therapeutic order, that's totally how we think in regards to health and wellness. So coming in, I'm assessing the severity, what's going on, and from there we determine where in this therapeutic order we need to start. So like I mentioned, if I get mauled by a bear, don't bring me to the naturopathic doctor. Like, I need to go to the ER, right? But let's say I just want to learn how to lose weight healthy and be healthy. Yeah, come see me, right? Because these are foundational things that we can change and support to, again, help you optimize your wellness. So that's literally what it's all about. And so I will say this. I like to tell people I have this huge toolkit of tools or therapies that I use. And so I'm always doing lifestyle and dietary counseling across the board, no matter who is coming in, no matter what. But then we can use things like supplements, which we're very much known for, right? I'm also a big fan of hydrotherapy, which is a therapeutic use of water to affect change in the body. You know, we do functional lab testing. Because I am an acupuncturist, I also use that as an adjunctive therapy. But there are just so many different avenues that we can go, or we can use to, again, get to help people optimize their health and their wellness. And so that's another thing that I love. And like I mentioned, if there is a situation when the person needs pharmaceutical drugs, then that's where we go. But that's also not to say that we still can't be doing other things lower on the therapeutic order, because those pharmaceutical drugs are really high up, to, again, support the foundation. So that's literally what it is and what it's all about. Like I said, a big misconception is you literally just come and instead of taking drugs, you take supplements, and that's not the case. At least that's not how I practice. There are some people that do so. Like there'll be people that come from a different holistic doctor, and they'll say, "Oh, well, excuse me, I'm on 152 supplements," and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Or I got this long list of supplements that I take every day, and I'm like, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of opening bottles and popping pills? Like, let's parse some of this down, because that's honestly no different than being on 14 medications.
Exactly.
Why is all of this happening? Gotta look at the foundation. So anyway, that's
that's good. That's so good. And I'm grateful that you broke up those misconceptions, because I know, at least when I learned about naturopathic medicine, in my mind it was like they fight against each other, naturopathic and traditional, but the way that you articulate it and like the support and when one is needed in the other, like so much clarity.
It's beautiful in my practice too, because we have 2 medical doctors that work with us. One is an integrative cardiologist, and one is more of I was going to say an independent primary care doctor, because she doesn't accept insurance. But we actually collaborate on our cases and on our treatment plans and whatnot. And if I have questions, I can ask her, or if she has questions, she can ask me. And this is what I think medicine should be.
Yeah,
you should have a team of people, and there shouldn't be a whole bunch of chiefs fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It should be all about collaboration, because ultimately the goal should be to help the person who's coming feel better and be able to be their best self. And so that's what I think about when I get up every morning. Not that this is a chore, because I totally enjoy what I do, but that's what I think about is, Carrie, all right, we're going to go into work and we're going to try and support people as best as I can so they can be their best selves. Because who wants to be miserable and in pain or in, having all this disease and whatnot if you don't have to? Because you don't have to. And you definitely don't have to age horribly either.
Yes, ma'am.
That's another thing I was talking about. Like, oh, well, I'm about to be 80. It means I'm about to get in my wheelchair. No, you don't have to.
Yeah.
There are things you can do. So, anyway.
I hope you guys are feeling empowered by this. You feel there are other options out there and things available to you, and you don't just have to let life happen to you.
Yes.
You can actually be a part of the process.
Yes, please be a part of the process.
And I think one of the things that you said was about the foundation. And I think that component right there is a key thing. Because like I think about even me growing up, like I had a good foundation, but like when I think about what my family generation was brought up on, like with the different types of food, or putting a pound, not literally, but it felt like putting a pound of sugar in your peach cobbler.
Yes.
And for us, that's real peach cobbler. But if somebody do half a pound, then you like, it's missing something.
Something ain't right.
But it's right.
Or the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
But I think just understanding the foundation, like, okay, if I cut back on doing some of those things, then I can slowly start improving my overall health, because now I'm targeting the thing that I was brought up on, but now I'm reversing it.
Yeah. The other thing too that you just made me think of is I always talk to my clients about moderation. Right? If you can do 80%, or maybe if you're an overachiever, 90% of stuff the right way, right, or the healthy way, you can totally allow 20% or 10 to 20% of the time you go and do some stuff that you wouldn't do. So one of my professors, her name is Dr. Louise Edwards, she used to say everything in moderation, including moderation, meaning be moderate. But at times, if it's your birthday and you want to have a piece of cake, have your piece of cake, right? Maybe you want to have 2 pieces of cake because it's your birthday. Do that on your birthday, but then the day after your birthday,
Thank you for saying that, yes.
Let's go back.
Right.
Let's go back to the plan, right? Or you're going on vacation. It's an all-inclusive resort. You're going to drink it up while you're on the week-long trip, right? Okay, enjoy it, but also please drink some water.
Well, I was about to say that, yes.
While you're drinking it, right? But when you come back home from the trip, get back on the program, right? Get back on doing the things that you know you're supposed to be doing to, again, optimize your health. And that's why I mentioned routine when you were talking about discipline and consistency. Because if you have a routine, it's easier to slide back into that.
Absolutely.
Versus you just kind of doing what you can do every day, and you know what I mean? No plan. So we all on the same page.
I mean, y'all hear this because, we've been saying this, and then now you hear the doctor saying the same thing. So I hope you guys are listening, okay? We're not just pulling this out of a hat.
They speaking the truth.
Oh gosh.
I should see some of them now.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I guess I gotta do better.
Yes,
please.
Yes.
For yourself.
Right.
You will thank yourself for it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so a couple other things. So I'm gonna let you know right now, guys, this is not Dr. Dennie's only time here. We're going to be having other conversations, okay? So you want to make sure that you tune back in so that you can be a part of those conversations and learn how to live a healthy lifestyle holistically. So we have just a couple last questions for today's episode. One is, if you had 2 minutes to share, like you had the attention of the world for 2 minutes, and you wanted to share something with them, what would you share?
So I have this acronym, and again, the Lord gave this to me, and so I talk about this with all of my clients, and it's PACE, and it stands for Purposeful Action and Consistent Effort. And this came to me because I think of health as a journey, right? And when you are going a distance, think of a track star or a long distance, cross country track star, right? You can't run the sprint,
right?
The whole long distance. You're gonna burn out at some point, and you can't walk because you won't win the race, right? So you have to figure out your pace. So the same thing applies to health and to wellness and fitness and anything that you are striving to achieve. You have to decide the plan, which is the purposeful action. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? And then you have to be consistent, and you have to show up, and you have to put forth the effort. And because it's a pace, right? You can make adjustments to the pace. So you can go initially. So I used to run track very briefly. Very briefly before I transitioned into cheerleading, which is my lane. But I used to run the 400 meter. And so when I first started, right, I was thinking, I gotta be first. So let me break out the blocks and speed real fast, right? But no, I'm gonna burn myself out by the time I get almost to the home stretch, right?
Exactly.
So no, you gotta set your pace. But during the race, you can again either speed up the pace or slow down the pace. And that's the thing that I want to convey. That I think people need to understand is you gotta have your plan. You gotta have your effort. You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined. You gotta have your routine, but you can tweak it. It doesn't have to be something that you set at the beginning and then you have to keep that pace because life happens, right?
Yeah.
So, as I get older, people are passing away. Things are changing. This world is changing, and sometimes you have to slow down on your pace and be able to take care of these other things that are popping up. That's not to say that once that, you've dealt with that or you've grieved or what have you, that you can't pick it back up again. Please pick it back up again.
Yes.
So that would be one of my 2 spiels, and I'll give the other one the next time we talk.
Ooh, breadcrumbs.
So y'all gotta come back.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I love that.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So if people wanted to learn more just about naturopathic medicine, like just for themselves to just, get their feet wet, what resources or places or podcasts or anything, where should they start? So
I would start at this website. It's called naturopathic.org, and I'm going to spell it naturopathic.org. And that's our North American Association's website. Okay. And so they've got all the verbiage of what we stand for. You'll see our principles. You'll see that therapeutic order that I mentioned. And then there's articles and stuff, but there's also at the very top of the page in the right-hand corner, there's a little link that says Find a Doctor. And so if you decide that you do want to see a naturopathic doctor, go there and find someone who's licensed.
Okay.
Because that's the thing. In the state of Michigan, we aren't currently licensed. However, I do hold a license in the state of Vermont because we want to show this government here in Michigan that we are licensable and we desire to be licensed.
Okay.
That's not to say that there are other practitioners, we call them traditional naturopaths, that have different schooling. That's not to say that they don't have benefit and that they can't do an awesome job. But if you want a naturopathic doctor, I recommend starting at that page.
Okay.
The other place that I would recommend if you are local is our practice website, which is integrativewellnessgrandrapids.com. And kudos to myself, but I wrote the verbiage on naturopathic medicine. So again, you'll see, I think I have the principles in there. If not, there's definitely the therapeutic order, but it explains what it is. And then there are 5 of us that are practicing, and you can totally read all our bios and even meet with us and just decide who you resonate with.
Okay.
If you decide that you want to establish care with us, basically.
Love it, love it, love it. And if people want to connect with you, maybe on social or somewhere else, where would they go to do that?
So on Facebook and Instagram, you can find me at cdennie, DENNIEND, is the, what do you call that? The handle?
Yes.
Help me.
Yes.
On both of those platforms.
Okay.
And then, like I said, also the Integrative Wellness Grand Rapids website, and then my own personal website will be launching soon. So
Nice.
Let's
look
go.
out for that on the social media. Look out for that, because I'll post that on the social media.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for just having a conversation with us, for sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and expertise with everyone out there. We cannot wait to continue having conversations with you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely.
Life Addict!
Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to follow us at Life Addict Studio. That's our handle on all social media platforms. And you can also check us out online at lifeaddictstudio.com.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.